So, probably the first biggest mistake of the Adam Peters era was getting rid of Sam Howell. We're going to explain. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Greg, and I'm your host here at the Washington Football Maniacs. This channel, of course, is dedicated to news and commentary for the Washington Commanders. If you're down with that, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. When you do, hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other video releases. Hey, if you want to support this channel in other ways other than just supporting, you can either become a channel member, and if not that, please visit our partners here, Mint Mobile. Have you ever thought to yourself, why in the is my wireless cell phone bill so high? What are you paying all of that money for? Well, at Mint Mobile, you can get all of those features for a fraction of the cost. They are built on the nation's largest 5G network, and they keep their costs low because they directly sell to you. Switching to Mint Mobile is so easy. It took me less than 15 minutes using Mint Mobile's eSIMs card. And if you don't have an eSIMs card with your cell phone, just get in touch with Mint Mobile and they'll send you a SIMs card through the mail absolutely free. Big Wireless wants you to think that they are the only game in town, but let's send them packing. Switch to Mint Mobile today. Go to our link down at the bottom in the description. Try mintmobile.com/maniacs to get started today. And get this special offer for new customers. Get any plan on Mint Mobile for $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month for any plan on Mint Mobile, but you gotta act now. Now let's get back into the podcast. So a lot of people were kind of stumped because they were just taken back by the fact that we traded Sam Howell to the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the funny thing is that the very same people who halfway through the last half of the season, and then, of course, after the season was over, was talking about how that Sam Howell's not it. Like, Sam Howell, even some went on to say that he's not even a good backup. I mean, some people just, they take it to one extreme or the other. And, just really downing him, saying, like, this was a big mistake. Of course, Ron Rivera would have thought this was a steal of the draft. And then just as soon as we trade him, keep in mind, a guy that we got in the 5th round, we were able to basically trade him for a 3rd round. I know that there were some other, we had to give up a couple of other draft picks, but we also got better draft picks in return. The point is, as soon as that we get rid of him, then people are like, what is this team doing? They turn around and they get Marcus Mariota, who you're going to have to pay about $8 million for. Why don't you just keep Jacoby Brissett, which that's a fair point right there in itself. But then you're going to get Marcus Mariota when you could have kept Sam Howell and just made him the backup for a lot less money. And I totally get that. I mean, from a pure fan's perspective, that didn't make sense to us because, from the money standpoint, certainly from the standpoint of he's proven that he can play in the NFL, okay? He can play in the NFL. He's not a bad quarterback at all. I think he was placed in an impossible odds for a young guy like him coming into the league and expect it to, perform really well when pretty much the offensive coordinator threw everything on his shoulders. And so I think certainly being a backup, he would have been more than maybe he wouldn't be more than willing, but he would have been more than capable of being a good backup quarterback. The problem, though, lies in the fact that You don't want any type of quarterback controversy. You don't want any type of bad juju in the locker room, knowing that this was a guy that basically threw his body on the line for an entire season. Really didn't get a fair shake, in my opinion, as far as just how much was put on him, how little that the team relied on their more than sufficient running attack to help Sam Howell out. And here's a guy that you probably don't want to keep in the locker room because there's going to be some built up bitterness with that. I mean, disappointment and stuff. And then with the possibility, because we still don't know, but with the possibility of being replaced by the guy that came after you in college, that you were ahead of, and suddenly he's probably going to be named the starter. I mean, that could be, from the mental aspect of that, it's probably unfair to Sam Howell. And even despite that, if you draft Jaden Daniels, you're still going to have that, I think, a little bit. Now, yeah, certainly Jaden Daniels comes from another school, but the simple fact that we don't think enough of you that we are going to replace you with a rookie because we feel like he gives us the better chance to win, despite the fact that you've gotten a good solid year under your belt. Honestly, I think in terms of saving Sam Howell's career, it was the best move, humane move, I think, for the front office to trade Sam Howell to the Seattle Seahawks, because Sam knows that he's going out there to be a backup, but he also knows that there could just be a matter of time before he's able to come in and start. And I think that he can compete for the starting position at least by 2025. I mean, Geno Smith, he's one of those guys, and I think, again, this is the reason why that this is such a good move for Sam Howell, is the fact that, Geno Smith has been kind of your journeyman quarterback for a while. And, he's one of those what I call Rich Gannon type of quarterbacks where, took him a while to kind of develop. And then once he finally hit his stride, he really turned into a solid quarterback, a decent starting quarterback. Excuse me. But with that said, he's not someone who I feel like, in my mind, will have the starting position locked down for years to come. I think that bringing in somebody like Sam Howell, you can definitely mold him into a solid starting quarterback. And I think Howell is going to get his chance. In at least a couple of years, I could definitely see Sam Howell starting for the Seattle Seahawks. So I think it was a move more for mental health reasons and professional reasons to save Sam Howell's career. I think Dan Quinn and Adam Peters thought enough of Sam Howell to give him that opportunity, and probably felt that what they were going to do in Washington was not going to align with getting the most out of Sam Howell. And I see that, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Again, from the pure standpoint of a fan, when you're looking at how much money that's costing and knowing that Sam Howell can play in the league, you don't understand why would the team turn around and get a guy who obviously is not going to be a great starter for us. If he does start, he's not going to be with the team very long, and you're paying him $8 million. You already had a backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, who was probably the best backup quarterback in the league, and you want to get rid of him for a guy who, quite frankly, his his career has taken a nosedive. He quit on the Atlanta Falcons, and so you want to pick him up. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is what it is, folks. So I hope that that kind of makes sense as to why this was a better move for both Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders. Again, it's the humane thing. It's looking at a guy who, yes, he can play in this league, but we want to give him an opportunity to go somewhere where he probably can compete for a starting position, maybe not this year, but really soon. So why not give him that opportunity? Because obviously we know that the Commanders are looking into this draft to draft their future quarterback. Sam Howell's not going to be in that future. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, give it a share. Let me know what you thought. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.